All right, this is the Candyman review. I first want to start off by saying I enjoyed watching the movie for the simple fact that sometimes it's good to do a remake, which Candyman wasn't a remake. It actually was a continuation of the first and the third one, if I'm not mistaken. The premise I thought was I thought they changed it by the previews. The previews that I seen, I thought they changed the concept of what happened to Candyman and how he became Candyman. That wasn't the issue. Let me first by saying spoiler alert for people that didn't see the movie yet. So if you didn't see the movie yet, this is going to be spoiler alert. And I would say that it started off pretty good. And one problem that I had with the movie was I think the gore could have been a bit more. And that's with seeing Candyman, especially the ones that came out in the early 90s, like I think the gore was more, and the way they do things now, I was like, they could have got a little bit more gory. It was like one or two gory scenes, and even that wasn't too gory. Another thing that I didn't like about the movie was the fact that Candyman was killing kids, middle schoolers, high schoolers, and there even was a scene where he killed a little girl. Maybe she could have been like 12, 13 or something like that. Killed her in the bathroom. Like, what? We doing that now? We killing? I mean, it wasn't the kid wasn't killed on the screen, but I'm like, we killing kids now? Like, the 90s, Candyman didn't do stuff like that. And another issue that I had was the guy in the movie that showed in the preview of why he became Candyman. The story was there was a guy going around giving kids candy, and one day it was razor blades fountain of candy, and they thought it was that guy. And they beat him, and they killed him right there on the spot. And he became Candyman. Basically, the reason why he became Candyman is it's like untold stories. Well, not untold, but things that happened unjustly was the reason why he became Candyman. And it was like a long line of situations like that that's been happening that led to different versions of Candyman. That's what the story was trying to portray. They did give homage to the original Candyman, which is if I'm not mistaken, his name is Tony Todd. They gave homage, but they said that Candyman was the original Candyman, which he's the Hive. But throughout history, there have been many of times where black people have been wrongly accused and killed for situations like that, and each one of those situations became a Candyman. And getting back to this guy in the particular film, he was badly beaten and killed on the spot. But after that situation happened, there were still razor blades found in the candy. He was wrongly killed. So he became Candyman. My issue with that is that same Candyman was killing kids. So what's not to say he was doing it? And somebody else just put razor blades and candies just to be like, oh yeah, y'all got the wrong dude. Like, that part didn't make sense to me. This guy was killing kids in the movie. So in my eye, if a haunted spirit is after a specific goal, they stay after that specific goal because they was wrongly accused of something in the previous life. So I'm like, what? This guy was killing kids even after death. So who's not to say he was the original person putting razor blades in the candy and somebody just copycatted him? So that part I had an issue with. The good part about the movie was Yahya Abdul-Mateen. He played the part very well of being so interested in the story, in the lineage of Candyman. And the crazy thing was, he came back. He was the original child that was taken in the story. And it led back to Candyman wanting to find a body to come back to the world, even though he had to die for Candyman to take over his body. The ending of the movie was just straight terrible. Like, what? It was just bad. The dude, the ending of the movie, the dude was like, remember me or tell everybody about me. Who are you, Freddy Krueger? Like, what? Freddy Krueger lives off of fear. Like, the story of Candyman is going to live on in the town. That town was back in the 1800s. Obviously, over time, they built over the settlement and all that other stuff. But overall, I give the movie, I give it a B minus. The ending, I could have done without. And there was points in the movie, and I'm a big movie buff. There was points in the movie where I was able to figure out what was going to happen. I'm like, okay, this is about to happen. Oh, this situation is going to turn this way. Even the last part of the scene where Yahya Abdul-Mateen, his girlfriend, like, she got arrested. And she's in a cop car just looking. It took so long for her to get to the point that I already made. I was like, yo, she's going to say Candyman 5 times in the mirror. She's looking around for a good 5 minutes. And then the idea came to her head like, oh, can I see myself in the mirror? And then she says Candyman 5 times. Like, I knew it was coming, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the theater knew it was coming. Get to the fucking point. Why are you sitting there that long for that ending? Like, what? Come on. But overall, Jordan Peele, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming back out. And like I said, I was wrong when I seen the preview because I thought they was changing the story of how Candyman became. No, they didn't change the story. They just added to it. And they added the part of all wrongdoings of black people or situations that happened in that nature. Each one of those dudes became a Candyman. That's just my take on it. But that's my review of Candyman. I'll do Shang-Chi if you guys want me to do Shang-Chi review. Of course, after you guys see the movie, I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I tend to do that.